Do you believe in luck? I believe I got lucky. Now, when I really think about it on a deeper level, I always thought my circumstance in life was unfair. Growing up in a single parent household, the mother in poverty, living off the government, rats, roaches, you name it. We had it all. We experienced it all. I got lucky. And it just hit me, though, recently, how fortunate I was to grow up in that type of environment. Because I don't have to live with this level of delusion that most people operate with. Gary Vee actually mentioned it on his page. The video supposed to. Most people have this supposed to type of mindset, and it's ruining them in the long run. Like, I have friends who, wanted to be actors, and that's what they put a lot of their passion into. They just kind of wasn't good at it, and now they just kind of don't know where to go, but they still young as hell. And so I'm so glad that I grew up in an environment where I wasn't supposed to do anything. My mother didn't really have specific goals set for us, or any expectations for us besides going to high school and getting a diploma, which ultimately meant nothing, or still means nothing right now to this day in 2019. Obviously, it gets employers to hire you a lot faster, but it means nothing. Knowing what I know now, I would have been done with school in the 5th grade. That was pretty much all I needed to get around out here. All right. So, like I said, I say that to say the fact I got so lucky to grow up in that type of environment. I didn't have to be delusional about life. It hit me pretty fast, pretty young. And I was able to fortunately develop a level of wisdom that gives me an advantage out here. And I'm highly aware of that advantage. Everybody has something in their life that gives them an advantage. Something. Even if you have the worst story possible, that story alone gives you the advantage. It's funny. I was reading about a story, Louis Zambrini. I think I'm saying his name right. I don't want to butcher it, but he did the Olympics in the 60s with Jesse Owens. He actually won his race. I believe he did a 60-yard dash. He crushed it, gold medal. He didn't compete in Jesse's competition. That was for the bigger guys, so he didn't compete, but they both won gold medals. So this guy was an Olympic athlete, and he was also in the Army. So I believe one day flying over the Pacific Ocean, they were in war with Japan. We were currently in war with Japan. His fighter jet got shot down in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And unfortunately, Louis was trapped in the Pacific Ocean on a life raft with 2 other men for 47 days. On the very first night, one of the guys had ate up all of the food that was supposed to last him. He went into panic mode and ate up all the food while the other 2 guys were asleep, while Louis and the other guy were asleep. This same guy who was greedy actually ended up dying. He didn't make it. He panicked. He had a very negative mindset. Louis actually had to knock this man unconscious because he was so negative. He was ruining everybody's mindset. And so this man didn't make it. Louis made it. But the things he had to go through on that raft for 47 days, was nothing compared to what happened the next 5 years. Because on the 47th day, when what seemed to be help arrived, it was actually a Japanese fighter ship. And they kidnapped Louis and the other guy and held them in a prisoner of war camp for 5 years. And they only tortured him. That's all they did was torture him. They knew he was an Olympic athlete from America. So they knew he was actually a valuable asset to have in their war camp. So they tortured him. They made him run countless races. They made Louis run these countless races, and they exhausted his mind, his body, and his soul. For 5 years, they did this. Fortunately, before they killed him, the war ended, and they had to free all of the prisoners. Louis Zamperini went on to be 96 years old. This happened while he was in his 20s, so it took him some time to become a regular man again. I mean, he had a lot of trauma to deal with, a lot of counseling, a lot of therapy to go through, but he made it, and he actually went back to Japan at age 80 to shake the hand of the man who actually tortured him. And the man actually denied and declined the meeting because he couldn't look him in his face. Incredible. But it goes back to what I said about not or having a terrible story that gives you an advantage. So no matter how bad your story is, it's helping you. It's doing a favor for you if you leverage it right. So what's your story? How can you creatively communicate that story on the social platform that most dominates the attention of the end consumer of whatever service that you offer? I'm gonna say that again. How can you use your story creatively on the social platform that most dominates the attention of the end consumer of your product at that current time? So if you got a lawn business, Instagram can work for you. I better see pictures of lawns being cleaned all day long. Community events and shit where you just decided to cut the grass for free, just giving value back. These are the type of things you can post. I mean, you can do that. It doesn't cost you nothing to give. And now that you can do that for unbelievable cost, you can get your content in front of thousands of people and potential clients. It's amazing. This world is incredible. We gotta leverage. We gotta use our stories, no matter how bad, how horrible. It doesn't matter. It just gets better, doesn't it? But that's it for this one, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Hey, if you took the time out to listen to this podcast, then I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, y'all. It means so much to me, especially if you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that way you can be updated right away as soon as I drop new content. I just want to bring y'all something valuable. So your subscription, your love, your support means so much to me. Also, hit me up if you want to talk about anything else. Peace.